Greetings gamers, FiOth here, and in this video I'm going to explain how to use the salvage and embed functions in the Forge in order to create the weapons you want with the abilities you want them to have. It's a pretty intricate process, not as intricate as the inheritance of the Neo gear back in the day, because that was an entire science in itself, but there is a mechanism here, there is a bunch of functions that you can use to your advantage, so we're gonna go through all of them in order to craft a weapon that is ideal for what we're gonna try to do. So first and foremost, you need to be the Forge, and we have to understand how we get the jewels that we require in order to improve our weapon. So we're going to the Weapons tab. And as you can see, if I try to dismantle the Chivalrous Swordsman dual swords, I get jewel fragments 11, no salvageable jewelry essence. What is jewelry essence, first and foremost? Well, if you pay attention, this Polar Podao gives us a melee attack power jewelry essence. If you click description and go down here, you see that it is an icon of 5 symbols next to the melee attack power phrase. This means that there is a jewelry essence on this weapon that can be salvaged and then embedded into another weapon. So I'm gonna dismantle this or salvage it, and now that one jewel has gone into my inventory. Okay, it's just there. I exit this menu and go to embedment. If you have locked a piece of equipment, you cannot choose embedding slot modifications, as you can see here. It is grayed out. What you need to do is unlock it, and then you can choose an embedding slot. As weapons become rarer, as you keep playing the game, you will have more available slots. As you can see here, I have 3 on a purple. And if I go on a 4-star, I have 4 slots. That only tells us, of course, that there is another tier probably available later on in New Game Plus, just like in Neo, and then with the upcoming DLC we'll have even rarer stuff. And this is gonna be yet another hell for us to go through, as we did with Neo. But for the time being, we just want to demonstrate. Okay, so I am going to check what I have here. This says increases HP restoration from any source, like me using my healing item, by 1.7%. Okay, that's not insane. So I go on restore HP, and it says you are about to extract the jewel from equipment. Do you wish to proceed? This process, as you see at the top right, will give you 3 jewel fragments. That is it. So we've taken it out, and now this slot is empty and it has question marks on them. We click here, and as you can see, it says melee attack power 1. It requires 50 jewel fragments and 30,000 coins. Below that, there are other choices. These that do not have a numerical value to the very right mean that they are unlocked and you can apply them to as many pieces of equipment as you want. This jewel up here, the melee attack power that we extracted, we have 1 of, but spirit sustainability we can pretty much embed on any piece of equipment that can take it, any weapon. So we can just scroll down and see what kind of ability or perk, let's say, to be easily understandable, we want to add here. Let's say that we wanted to build more beast gauge as we attack enemies. Click on this, and now it will build our gauge for the Divine Beast faster. There are symbols to the left of each one of these perks. What do they mean? I might have to come back to this later on with a more analytical video, but what I've been able to understand so far is as follows. When we have this red icon here, we are talking about direct damage perks. When we have this green icon here, we are talking about general utility, like less consumption of spirit when we're using martial arts, or less consumption when we're using dodging or deflecting. These circle ones are general purpose, like building gauges, getting more experience, more key, getting more money, and so on and so forth. When a symbol is encased left and right in the same diagram like you see here, martial arts spirits consumption, it has both a brick on the left and a brick on the right, for a better term. When this happens, it means that you cannot use this embedding slot. It's locked. I'm clicking the button, you can hear the sound. I cannot take out this perk from this weapon. I could take this out, as you can see, and I can exchange it for anything else. A special category of perks is the ones that appear at the very bottom with this square symbol on the left with lines and a smaller square inside it. This indicates that this is part of a set, and if you push on your trigger, this will show you what part of the set it is and what abilities you're taking per tier. So as you can see, the Great Club of Polaris is part of the Yellow Heaven Must Rise, and there are 4 tiers at the moment available, and each of the tiers below will give you extra perks as you accumulate more pieces. There is a 5th tier below, and I suppose this will be available later on in better quality equipment, supposedly in New Game Plus. One more thing, we'll go back to Salvage. I'm looking for a specific one. When you see this symbol, this blue or red symbol next to the jewel, it means that if you try to embed on this slot, you will get the specific jewel essence out and into your inventory, instead of this getting destroyed and turning into jewel fragments. I'm going to demonstrate. Here we are. You are about to extract the current jewel from equipment. Do you wish to proceed? And now let's say we want to embed something here. Let's find it again. There it is. Haste upon martial arts. So if you see this blue symbol next to an ability, what you can do is actually go embed instead of destroying the weapon if you want to keep the weapon, and you can extract this jewel and you can use it on another piece of equipment without destroying it. I know it's a lot to take in, but if you follow this guide step by step, you should have a pretty good understanding about how to optimize your gear. Piece of friendly advice: if it's not at least a purple, meaning it's 3 stars or 4 stars, don't bother with exchanging perks and wasting materials, because it's so low quality that you will eventually scrap it anyway, and everything you can spend in the meantime when it comes to coppers and fragments will have been lost. If they are interchangeable jewels, that's gonna be fine. You're gonna take them back into your inventory and you will be able to later on reapply them to different pieces of gear. I think this is all. I think I've covered everything. If anything else hits my mind in a later date, I will have an annotation on this vid leading you to the new vid that will explain the other stuff that I might have forgotten or don't yet know when it comes to this mechanic of the game, because it's still very early and we still haven't gone through our first playthrough, and as it is understandable, we don't know everything yet. Sub, like, share, hit the notification bell. For more content like this, I will be covering everything in Wulong and I will be streaming Wulong, so keep an eye out. Until next time, be well, stay frosty, and always strive for perfection. Cheers!